Hello everybody, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today we are doing collective messages with Mother Hekate, and you don't need to know who she is in order to get messages from her. You don't have to work with her, worship her, or even know who she is. But if you do resonate with these messages, I highly recommend that you at least look up who she is if you have no idea, okay? The idea of this reading, we're going to do a bit of a vibe check beforehand to find out what situation she would like to address with all of you. We're going to use the Wild Unknown Archetypes Oracle deck. Yeah, and then afterwards we're going to channel from the Tarot of the Divine Tarot deck. If you are on my Patreon, you have received this reading earlier than everybody else. Specifically, a couple tiers, the higher tiers received this 2 weeks early, and then the lower tiers received this 1 week early. And then if you're not on my Patreon, you're getting it now after everybody else. So, just FYI. But this is a timeless collective reading. We'll see what she's up. I mean, if you don't resonate with this vibe check that I'm coming up with her, then it's not for you, basically. So I'm going to shuffle, and I'll get right back to you. Okay, so this came out clear as day right away. We have the vessel, and then we have the temple. Right away, she's talking about the body, the self. I'm hearing the body, like that was the word, was like the body. So health may be something that you're dealing with currently. Like that might be something that you've had a lot of focus on. That's part of it, but she wanted me to use the guidebook because this is a fat guidebook, okay? Before we started this and everything, she's like, I want you to read what this stuff says to people. So if you resonate with the things that come from this guidebook, this reading will be for you, and we'll also figure out further, what about the body does she want to talk about and advise with? Okay, first I'll read about the vessel, because that's the first one that came up, and it's also the first one that I found in the guidebook. So... Alright, so the vessel, the body, the container, the cup. The vessel may be the most powerful archetypal form on Earth. It is everywhere. Cups hold liquid, stoves hold fire, our bodies hold organs, our homes hold families. Through the simple act of separation, the vessel protects what it contains. Nests protect the eggs, savings accounts protect our earnings. Even the planets are contained within their circular orbit. When this card appears, it is time to assess what is being held together and how. Is the vessel too tight, too loose, broken, empty, full, or perhaps there is no vessel at all, and the contents spill in every direction? It is natural for structures to be formed and eventually fall apart. The vessel has a life cycle that must be honored. It is time for you to build, break, or repair. You must find out. Well, I will go on to the temple, but I feel like it should be quite obvious here that she's definitely interested in talking about you, not your love interest, not what's going on with other people, or this and that. I mean, you know, there's a time and a place for wondering what's going on with other people, but this is about you, and this is what she's talking about, okay? That definitely felt like her channeling there. So, she is quite, she can be quite loving, but in my practice and when I give messages, she's just blunt. She just gets to the point to explain things, you know, why mussy around the bush, I guess. I don't know. I don't even... Mussy around the bush. What does that even mean? Okay. Anyways, let's find the temple in here. Alright, guys. I had a hard time finding the temple in this guidebook. And that was clear to me right away that she was... Part of this that we're addressing is the fact that you are not... Perhaps you've been... If you have problems with like dissociating or depersonalization, it's getting a bit dark, but like if you tend to separate your mind from your body kind of thing, there's that. But the fact that it was hard to find the temple says something about how you have been treating the vessel. They always say the body is treat it like a temple, you know. If you be putting Red Bulls in it all the time. Okay. I think you've gotten my point there. I won't keep burning it. But I'm going to read the temple here. So, the temple, the sanctuary, the shrine, the altar. When we think of the temple, we often envision an architectural structure in a far-off land. We are quick to distance ourselves from the sacred, assuming we must expend much effort in order to arrive there. Yet the temple is a universal and omnipresent energy, accessible in the highest and lowest, richest and poorest of places. Visiting the temple might be as simple as stepping into the dappled light of the forest, slowly and sensuously kissing a lover, or closing your eyes to travel inward. This card is a call to re-examine what you pay homage to and what you reject. What do you spend your time worshipping? Your phone, money, material goods? What barriers do you draw between yourself and the sacred? Perhaps there is a room on your altar for something new, something surprising. Offer it to the heavens. Well, there's a little tiny bit in the end. I feel like if you've been called to Hekate in some regard, this message is for you, and maybe she'd like a little spot, a little altar spot for herself. But besides that, I need to get a drink of water. That's clear as heck. Taking care of the vessel, please. Now, while I would, just like how I did with the vessel, I had something to say extra, but the thing is, my mind went straight blank. And so I went to drink water because I need to drink water. I looked at it again, straight blank. So that is what she wants to say on that matter. If you don't understand if this reading is for you at this point and roughly what we're talking about, with peace and love, goodbye. But next, we are going to find out what she has to say about this further. What is her advice? That is a common theme that I like to do on my Patreon or just even my own personal readings. A lot of times I would come up to a deity and, you know, to do tarot and ask them, be like, what is it that you'd like to tell me today? But something that even makes it more clear is if you don't have something in particular that you want to express or ask questions about or something, and you just want their presence, or you feel called to them in some way, but you don't know for what, good thing to ask them. What are we talking about? What is it? And then once you find out, you'll be like, oh, that's what we're talking about today. Okay. And then you find out. Do some more tarot. And you'll be like, oh, that's what you wanted to roast me about how I've been dealing with my finances. You know, something on that matter. So, we had gotten the Four of Cups, Judgment, and Eight of Coins, which the Eight of Coins fell on top of Judgment. Part of it, when I first saw Judgment, I got like a snide comment that she's judging you on your choices. And you don't have your best choices at times in regards to how to take care of yourself. But then the Eight of Coins, when it fell on top of it, it was talking about how you may judge yourself too harshly. Okay, so you'll know which one if you've just been kind of on autopilot and not thinking about it. She's judging you. But if you have been angry with how you've been dealing with things, and not necessarily angry, but perhaps you've been feeling disappointed, she does want you to quit it. She just does not want you to keep beating yourself up, honestly. You know, like, it's one thing for her to be like, hey, you're not taking care of yourself, you know? And then this next thing where, which she wouldn't, but like, it would be, then the next thing would be like, you know, being angry at you or something. Like she is the Great Mother. I call her Great Mother, and my thought is, you know, if you have a parent, specifically a mother, that is attacking how you treat your body, you know, perhaps you have been doing everything right, and you're just not being seen right, and she's upset for you, you know. So if you are not having, I'm getting chills like crazy when I'm doing this, but if your mother is not the mother that makes you feel happy and good to be in your own skin, look to the Great Mother Hekate to help you feel better and to actually worship yourself rather than have it be demeaned. Alright guys, that is the message entirely. For a second, I thought she would want to go further into a different scenario of some kind, but, you know, I double checked, and no, that is what she wants to say. Talk about trying to, like, get her followers, but in all seriousness, you deserve better than treating your body not like the sacred place that it is, and having other people tell you you're doing it incorrectly, you know? She will love you for who you are, and she wants you to love the vessel that you've been blessed with. Alright guys, that is all of it, as I mentioned, and that's heavy feelings. Heavy feelings. This is the part where I'd be like, come to my Patreon where I deliver more messages and everything, but it's like, that feels so fake in comparison to what we just, you know, discussed. Just don't be mean to yourself, and if you want more messages from the Great Mother and other deities alike, that is what I like to do. And if you can't afford it at this time to join the various tiers that I have on my Patreon, just subscribe here, hang out, and watching, if any ads show up on these videos, watching them through, yeah, that's dopamine for me. And if you have YouTube if you have YouTube Prime, Premium, YouTube Prime, you can tell that I'm new here. YouTube Premium. Thanks for watching my video, regardless. Okay. talk soon.